Hey guys, so I know they have an interview at 10, but I haven't seen like a thing up from News Nation yet, so I don't know if it's going to be like aired a different day, but we'll see. I'm going to keep looking and see if they have like I think they usually have like a 10 o'clock thing, right? Well, we'll see. If not, then I'm just going to go over like the new recent interviews that came out and kind of like give a little, update. And I do want to share the GoFundMe link in here too. So give me 1 second. Hopefully it's, airing tonight. Like I know they're doing it tonight, so. Let me get the GoFundMe. Here's the link. Just so I can share it out. It's okay. Butterfly kisses. Oh no. Hold on. I have to go to the actual page. But I'm just going to show the GoFundMe so you guys can see it too. Hey Lori, hey Jen, hey Tia, hey K-Braze, Abra, Linda. Not going to be too long though. My kid has been fighting sleep for like the past 2 days. I don't know what his deal is, but he keeps like, Mom, come lay on the couch with me when you're done. I'm like, okay, I'll come hang out with you. He's usually in bed by like 8 o'clock, so I don't know what his deal is, but I'll figure it out. Well, staying on News Nation to see, but in the meantime, let me pull up the GoFundMe and the latest interviews. Oh, they have stuff about the vigil too. I want to play that. All right. Hey, LFT. Hey, Queen. Okay, thanks. Yeah, if you could, do you have the other ones, T? If you have the other ones, you can send them to me. All right, let me check one more time because it's 10 o'clock. So I just want to see if they are live. Oh, they're not live yet. So I'm just going to go over all the updates and just keep checking and seeing. Unless it's on like something I don't know about, but usually they go live at 10. So I don't know why, but maybe it's like a pre-record. Anyway, I'm going to show Ivy Webster's parents interview, and I'm going to show the GoFundMe real quick just so you guys can see it. And just a heads up, I talked to D-Lynn, the aunt who was here last night that I spoke to, and she said, her and Jan, which is Holly's mother, maybe will come on. They're I would love to hear from them, but and if they come on, that will be great. But I'm not in any. I know they're going if they don't end up not coming on, or they're busy, that's fine too, because there's way more important things they're going through right now, but could possibly hear from them down the line. So just putting that out there, but I don't want to put any pressure on them because they got a lot going on right now, which I can't even imagine losing. Where did I hear about this case? I think on Twitter first, and then I heard about it on Twitter, and then I covered it last night, and I was not expecting. Bye, Mr. Nice Guy. I was not expecting Holly's aunt to come on last night, and she gave me a lot of information that hasn't come out yet. So, if you guys haven't watched that, definitely check that out after this, because it's just, she really wanted to get her story out, their story out, because Holly, they don't believe Holly really knew the whole story or knew everything that was really the whole, I think they believe he was lying to her. They weren't together that long. And they were getting some really nasty comments, people saying it's her fault and stuff like that. And they wanted everyone to know how much she actually loved her kids. And nobody really knows what was going on behind closed doors. I mean, for all we know, she could have been scared of him. He could have been threatening her. Who knows? Or, lying to her and telling her he was innocent and somebody was falsely accusing him, so they just really wanted to get that out and, the truth out. And if you missed it yesterday, a little summary. It started out as these two teenage girls went missing, and an Amber Alert was released saying they were potentially endangered and with a guy named Jesse McFadden. And it had come out later that when searching for these girls, they had found 7 bodies on Mr. McFadden's property. The bodies being the 2 girls that were missing, Ivy Webster and Brittany Brewer, Holly McFadden, which was Jesse's wife, and but they would prefer that she be referred to as Holly Guess. And then her children, Michael, Rylee, and Tiffany. Michael Mayo, Rylee Allen, and Tiffany Guess. And it was initially being reported that it was 2 boys and a girl, but it was actually 2 girls and a boy. And in a nutshell, on Friday night, they got a text from Holly saying all of her phones have fell into a mud puddle, and if you try and contact me, I might not be able to answer. And then all the phones were off, and that was that. And they were like, well, how are you able to text us? And then after that, they couldn't get through. I believe Ivy was at their house already on Friday night because they had off from school on Friday. She may have slept there Thursday night into Friday. And they were all supposed to go to the house, I guess go swimming, have a sleepover. And at the sleepover on Saturday, Brittany went over there to sleep over and go swimming, supposedly on Sunday. But now they're questioning the actual timeline of the deaths, and they were thinking that maybe they could have happened on Friday, and maybe he could have, orchestrated picking up Brittany on his own through Tiffany's phone. Like, I cannot confirm this. This is just what, thoughts that were getting thrown out there, that he potentially could have, took Tiffany's phone and text Brittany and been like, hey, I'm going to come pick you up, or my stepdad's going to come pick you up and you can come over, whatever. I believe she thought she was going to go swimming. They were supposed to go to the mall on Saturday, but their aunt did confirm they never went to the mall. So that was kind of like up in the air if, they were still alive on Saturday. Ivy's mom explains in an interview that I'm going to play that she had talked to her all Saturday night through Snapchat, but now, maybe it could have possibly been Jesse. And supposedly each body was found in a different area on the property. They were all separated. And he apparently told his mother the night before that he was going to do this, and she didn't do anything. And I believe she had given him a gun. And he also texted a former victim of his this really horrible text, which I'll share. She's sharing it on Facebook, but he's pretty much putting it all on her and making it like, she's the reason why he did this. I believe he didn't want to go back to jail, and I really do believe that Holly, believed he was innocent because she was going to testify for him on Monday at his trial. But I think he knew he would go back to jail and that Holly would find out, all the stuff that he lied to her. I'm not sure, Lori. Like, I don't know. They're not even sure, to be honest. It's, confusing, really. Hold on. I'm going to share. So, I don't know if you guys can see it. See if I can zoom in. So he says, I did exactly, this is the text that he sent his victim that he had previously essayed. Said, I did exactly what I promised I would do. When I got out, I got a marketing job making great money and was being advanced. Been there 2 years now and made a great life like I promised I would do with you. Now it's all gone. I told you I wouldn't go back. This is all on you for continuing this. So I guess she was potentially the reason why he was going back to court, and she was, which is a shame because, now she's probably going to question her decision constantly now. Like, could things have been different? And it's so terrible that, well, she did know to an extent, Lori. So, but they don't know what he was telling her, or if she was afraid of him, or you know what I mean. Like, but okay, so this is the GoFundMe. It says, "Hi, my name is Heather. I think Heather is Holly's sister. We found out my sister Holly, 35, my niece Riley, my nephew Michael, and my niece Tiffany were murdered by my sister's husband. We were trying to get help cover the cost of the funeral and the memorial services for the kindest people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. This is a huge tragedy, not just for my family, but all of our friends in the community. So much was lost so quickly, and any help is greatly appreciated. This is Riley, and this is Tiffany, and this is Michael." But so if you listen to the interview that I did with the aunt, in a nutshell, they didn't know that he was an SO, and her dad, his company was going to hire a man who was an SO, but the guy was claiming that it was like a high school thing and there was only like a small age difference between them, and that I don't know, that it was so long ago and whatever. So he took it upon himself to search the guy that they were going to hire. And while he was searching the guy they were going to hire, he just happened to see his daughter's boyfriend. And they thought that she didn't know. So they, invited her to dinner and were like, "Hey, are you aware of this?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, well, yeah, but, he told me that, that's not what happened, and the lady's lying on it, whatever." And she must have known to an extent, and I believe she believed him because she was going to testify for him on Monday. But I think he was knew she was going to find out that he was lying to her, so he kind of just like went out with a bang, I guess. I don't know, but it's it's sometimes people really are convincing, or maybe she was scared of him. I mean, who knows what the real situation is or not. I can't really be one to judge because I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened, but it's definitely, make sure you check into people who are around your children, and be on top of that, because it's so important that who's in your child's life. And he apparently was a little controlling, and from what the aunt said, that Riley, the 17-year-old, was texting a boy at school who was 17 as well, and the stepdad freaked out and pulled her out of school and made her homeschool because of it, almost like a jealous, boyfriend. And yeah, they don't really know how long their relationship was going on, but he got out of jail in 2020, and she wasn't divorced until 2022, but they suspect maybe she was talking to him before that because it happened so quickly. She also had gotten pregnant with twins, so maybe she was upset about her divorce and made a mistake, and then felt like she needed to stay with him because of that, and then at this point was in too deep. I don't know, but she was pregnant with twins and she lost them. And the family did want to take the kids. And I guess, they said had they known that it was, like this, then, they would have taken them right away. And nobody could have foresaw this coming. You know what I mean? Like the friends, they've been to this house several times, and their parents really, didn't worry because this was something that had happened before. They've been there before. So, it's just a really sad situation all around. And, you can't really say, she should have done this or that. If we don't really know how like it all went down. Maybe she didn't know at first and it was too late by the time she found out. She may have been pregnant with twins at that point, and then now she lost the kids, but now she's living with them, and potentially, who knows. So I just try not to like jump to conclusions. But here is a video from News Nation an hour ago. We can play this real quick too. Oh, why is it? Oh, sorry, hold on. Wrong one.
An odd, mysterious situation that starts with why identification is taking so long. They still don't know the identity of everybody there, but it seems presumed to understand the situation now.
Also, the aunt said last night that they needed dental records to be able to identify them. So, and that his mother had given him a gun, which would be illegal for him to have since he was a felon.
We know the identities of the bodies of two of them, and they were teenagers that had gone missing recently. They were found at the Oklahoma residence of a man authorities were seeking in the teen's disappearance. He is a known registered
speculation station.
Sex offender. So was this a murder-suicide? Was it random? Was it based on a point?
From what I heard, it was a murder-suicide. But I guess they still have some investigation to do. But that's what the consensus is, because he asked his neighbor to hide his truck for him. He's told his neighbor that he didn't want his family to see it for some reason. They weren't able to get onto his property right away until they had a search warrant, so they sent drones over, and that's how they were able to find the bodies, and then they were able to get the search warrant. And yeah, that's what it's believed to be, that he had killed him. And based on the text message that he sent his prior victim and what he told his mother, that he was going to do that the day before. Like he said he was going to kill his family and himself. So I think we can speculate that that was what it was.
Point of stress, because the man's body was also found along with his wife and 3 stepchildren, in addition to these 2 other teens. Now, one of them was 14-year-old Ivy Webster. On Saturday, she joined her friends Brittany Brewer and Tiffany Guess for an outing to the mall, and then a sleepover at Tiffany's house. Tiffany is one of the stepdaughters of the suspected killer.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Ivy was there already and Brittany joined them, but now I'm confused. But one of them was there from Friday night. And in my opinion, I think he killed most of them on Friday night. And then I think he took Tiffany's phone and he pretended that he was Tiffany and invited Brittany over and went to pick her up. And I would really like to know if he was alone when he picked her up. They supposedly, Ivy was texting her mom on Snapchat till midnight, but she had told her mom they went to the mall And it's a known fact they did not go to the mall. So I'm really starting to believe that he was, orchestrating all these text messages, because he also, the next day, Ivy's parents said they got a weird text that didn't seem like her, because it said something along the lines of, "I'm going here, just letting you know," when usually she would ask. And then they also got a call from Jesse on Sunday saying that they were still at swimming at the ranch. So it sounds like he was, orchestrating all this, in my opinion. And supposedly it was all his idea to invite the girls over, and that there was more girls who were invited that didn't go. So that's pretty crazy that there could have been, more victims.
Sunday comes. Ivy's supposed to come home at 5, doesn't. A search goes out for her and another missing teen. Joining us now are Ivy's parents, Ashley and Justin Webster. I'm very sorry to meet you under these circumstances. Thank you very much. How are you taking this news?
Not very well.
It's unimaginable. I can't wish it on anybody.
No, God forbid. It's bad enough that you're going to have to deal with it. Let me ask you first, what matters most? Tell me about your daughter. Tell me what you want people to know about who she was and who she was becoming.
She was beautiful inside and out. She was the most caring person I've ever known.
I'm pretty sure Ivy was also Michael's girlfriend, if I remember correctly. So, like, Tiffany was her best friend, and her older brother was her boyfriend, I think.
She was a people person. She tried to make everybody happy. She wouldn't even hurt a fly.
She really did light up a room. I know that's cliche, but she was genuinely just a good person.
God got an angel yesterday.
Her only daughter. She was just amazing.
Have the authorities given you any idea of what they think happened?
We haven't received much information.
Yeah, we haven't been receiving much information at all. There was a couple of times.
They didn't seem to give out much information in the press conference, too, but I think it's pretty, obvious from the different things, like what it was,
Times yesterday where, because I was contacting Okmulgee Sheriff's Office for information, they kept telling me they were going to give me a call back and never did. So I drove to the crime scene and I tried to start digging myself and asking several officers of what was going on. And finally, the chief of police from Okmulgee brought me to the side and was talking to me and telling me he couldn't give me much information at the time. But I was also very grateful going down there when I did, because that was the exact moment that they found the truck in the adjacent property.
You knew the man suspected of taking your daughter's life and the other people who were found, McFadden. How did
it probably feels so gross too that, oh yeah, they look very numb. Like, you could tell they don't even, they're like, they're in a daze right now, it looks like, I can't even imagine. But like, the fact that he called them on Sunday, saying that they were still at this ranch to buy time, when clearly, that wasn't the case.
did you know him, and did you know that he was a registered sex offender?
So we knew him because he was the stepfather to the kids. We had no idea about his past at all. Besides
our kids hung out with their kids. We've lived in Oklahoma for 2 years, and from the first day our kids got on the school bus with their kids, they were friends. I think it was
Ivy
the first week
Tiffany,
we were in our house.
Inseparable.
They were inseparable. Ivy and Tiffany. It was either Tiffany coming over to our house to stay at our house, or Ivy going over to their house to stay at their house. And We knew nothing. We met Jesse just kind of as dropping off the kids and picking up the kids and vice versa. And he would come maybe in the house every once in a while and talk as he's dropping off the kids. And
they had done stuff like this before many times.
Yeah.
for
Going
2
to
years
the
straight.
lake and
Yeah, they had no reason to, think anything else. Like, it wasn't something that was out of the norm, So, and it's unrealistic to, know everything about, all your kids' friends' parents, like normally people don't have to worry about that stuff. And, you can never be too careful nowadays.
hanging out. Our son was best friends with Michael, Jesse's stepson, and he had been over to their house many times, and Michael's been to our house as well many times.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to.
What's super shocking to me too is that that they were all in separate areas. So it's like, I'm really curious how they like, I'm curious how he got them all separated, without somebody running off or calling 911, or how that went down. Like, I'm really, I know, speculation season. I do too. Yeah, thank goodness he's no longer with us, but it's just terrible that he had to take innocent people's lives too, like, no reason for that. But yeah, like, it's strange. Like, how did he do that? And, they were definitely premeditated because he had told people and he had texted his victim. And, I think that he had done it way earlier than he had said that he did. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, maybe. Like, maybe he oh, thank you, Speculation Station. Yeah, I'm wondering that too, Abra. I don't know, but it's, yeah. Well, it's crazy that her father just accidentally found out by searching another guy. Well, that could, yeah, Lori, maybe that too. I didn't think about that. Maybe he had done, like, drugged them or something. I don't know, but it's all just terrible. But yeah, their aunt said they never went to the mall. So the mall was really the thing that was like, were they still alive on Saturday to me? But now I'm really questioning that, it was Friday. And I said earlier, she did say that her and Jan, would like to come talk to me, and do an update later. But I know they have a lot of stuff going on, and all that stuff is, way more important than coming on here. But if they do, and when they do, I will be grateful to hear them out and share their story. And if they decide to, and I will let you guys know if they decide to as well. But it has not been officially released. I know that they've completed 2 autopsies. I don't know what the outcome of those autopsies are, But I'm thinking maybe they are waiting to get all those autopsies and then, then announce it, if they do put that stuff out there, and there's really this, it might not come out because there's not going to be court because their perp is, unalived himself, so it's just a sad situation all around because it's like, in this situation, how do you get closure without, not getting justice, but I guess him not being around anymore is, justice in its own right, and also, his brother, Cody, last year was holding a woman in a dog cage in his home, and he was poking her with a stick, trying to electrocute her with an extension cord, and then hit the cage so hard with an axe that it bent the cage, and she was able to crawl through like a hole that it made and climb out a broken window. So it's just so wild to me that, obviously his brother's not well either. And it really, you can't hear me? I don't know why. Can you hear me? So, those, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Speculation station. And then remember the text I showed you earlier where he texts his, the victim of the crime that he committed that he was going to court for, and said, I did exactly what I promised I would do when I got out. I got a marketing job making great money and was being advanced. Been there 2 years now, made a great life like I promised I would do with you. This is all on you for continuing this. And then in separate message, he texted her, now it's all gone, and I told you I wouldn't go back. And I'm trying to see. Oh, here is the fundraisers for, here is Ivy Webster's GoFundMe, which I will share. And then here is Brittany Brewer's GoFundMe, which I believe Buffalo Wild Wings has offered to pay for some of her funeral expenses, but they're still accepting donations for other family expenses, which I'm sure they will lose a lot of work, and they're grieving. So, and they I know they did have a vigil. Let me see if I can find the I'm gonna play this real quick. Yeah, that's a good question to you. Why was he not on the local list of SOs? That stuff needs to be out there so people can find it if they need to and know, clearly. I highly doubt this man was going around and letting everyone know, that he was an SO. He was at their school. He was at soccer games. I mean, he and apparently I believe the law in Oklahoma, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure, is that you can live with a SO. A child can live with an SO if it is by marriage, like a step parent or a blood parent. And I don't know why he still wasn't in jail, I don't know what happened with that.
Mourning the loss of his daughter.
I'm just lost. I still, it hasn't sunk in yet. I still think she's going to walk in right behind me or walk up next to me. It still hasn't sunken in that she's gone.
And her siblings now mourning the loss of their sister.
You guys hear
taking
that?
it really tough and hard. I mean, they're just words can't describe it.
Community members, students, and families gathered Monday to remember and pray for all the victims involved. Brittany Brewer's father
Can you guys hear that?
The loss of his daughter.
I'm just lost. I still, it hasn't sunk in yet. I still think she's going to walk in right behind me or walk up next to me. It still hasn't sunken
That's
in.
Brittany's dad.
And her siblings now mourning the loss of their sister.
They're just taking it really tough and hard. I mean, they're just words can't describe.
Community members, students, and families gathered Monday to remember and pray for all the victims involved in the Henryetta tragedy. The victims' classmates ending the school year without them.
I knew Ivy really well. She was a great person, great personality.
Ivy's brother spoke to us after the vigil, a devastating void now in the Webster family.
A lot of crying, really sad. I mean, only daughter in a house full of boys, so obviously my mom's super upset.
The tragedy, a shock to the community and a heartbreak to the families that can't be understood.
Horrible.
I can look
Truly
it up
tragic,
and see, like while I'm
especially
live, and see if it's on
we've
there,
known this
or if it was on
family
there.
for
I don't know if
2
it gets
years now.
taken off
But
now that
Brewer
he's
says
passed,
the
though.
families are finding a sense of healing from the community.
And Oklahomans come together, and God's got us in Oklahomans, and we'll get through this. It's just another tragedy, and we'll get through it.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to.
I know they're doing an interview with News Nation, but I'm assuming maybe they're gonna play it a different day. Like maybe they're not doing it tonight. Hold on, I'm gonna look up real quick. But he might be removed now that he's deceased, but I'm gonna check. Oh, why won't it let? What's that? Let me look. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let me change my screen. I don't know if I'm doing this right, because every time I was trying to click on, like, things to look it up. Oh, that's the wrong one. Darn it. I hate this new, like, screen sharing thing. It's weird. Maybe this one. That's registration. There we go. Oh, he's on here. How do I look up the local one? Oh, now I gotta change the screen again. Darn it. Yeah, I don't know, Speculation Station. I don't know if she previously knew him. I don't know if she knew the woman that was a victim, but they do look very similar. His previous victim and Holly. Yeah, he had a RAPE charge from 2003, a grand larceny charge. And he got out of jail in 2020. Here he is, doing stuff again. It's crazy. And he was going back to court because he was talking with a minor in jail. He got caught talking with a minor in jail. So, it's just horrific, this whole situation, and it's so sad. And but I am gonna end it. It's been like 45 minutes. I thought that it was airing tonight, but I guess it's not. So I'll be back tomorrow though. And if they air it tomorrow, I'll play it, but I'll also do a little trial recap tomorrow on top of any updates that I may get. And I just wanted to share what has come out since then. And if you haven't watched the interview that I did with Holly's aunt, I would definitely suggest checking it out because it's very informational and kind of gives like an insight into, the story of how everything came about beforehand and the history behind it and, all that. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely go check that out. And I'll be back tomorrow. So thank y'all for coming in and have a great night. And thank you. Check out this, guys. Wait, before I go. I did a live with Decipher tonight. If you didn't see it, make sure you go check out their channel and check out Jen the Hooligan's channel too. I think hers is just Jen. Anyone else in here that has a channel that I'm missing? But yeah, Decipher's covering this case too, so we'll be going back and forth between each other, I'm sure. So make sure to follow them as well. So, and Jen, my girl Jen. All right, guys. Have a good night. See ya.